Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to our new coach training. Today is day 6 and we are talking all about rejection and objections. So this is common. I know especially for some people, it's a really hard topic to kind of grasp and become okay with in this business. But please know that rejection is just the name of the game in this business. You're not gonna get 100 yeses right off the bat. It's gonna take people some time to watch you and follow you and learn to see what you have to offer and trust you before they're going to agree to join you. You know, especially if it's a cold market person, like someone you don't know, someone you've just met on social media, it's gonna take them a while to see that you are the real deal and that you're here for a while and that, you know, they can trust their health and wellness into your hands. So I want you to think about, again, I know this is sometimes easier said than done, but the more you practice this, I promise, the easier it'll get. I really want you to think about each no as just being one step closer to your next yes. Right? Stop and think about that for a second. It just takes, the more no's you hear, that just means you're getting one step closer to your next yes. There's actually an entire PD book based on this idea of that, you know, you have to sort through the no's in order to get to the yes. So there's this book called Go for No, and I highly suggest that you put it on your list of PD books to either read or listen to, especially if you're finding that rejection is an area that you need more help with, more confidence on, you know, to know that it's totally normal and it's totally okay. So think about each no as one step closer to your next yes. We also talk about this in the analogy of like planting a seed. So every time you hear a no, it's like you've planted a seed, and now at least that person is going to kind of look at your posts a little bit more closely. That person is going to at least know what you have to offer. Because maybe, again, especially if they're a cold market person, maybe they're following your post, but they don't quite understand, you know, what it is that you offer. So by inviting them, at least they know now what it is that you offer and that they have the option to join you. Because if you don't invite them, 9 times out of 10, people are not going to message you. You need to message people. So if you message them, it kind of opens the doors of communication so that when they are interested, maybe they will come to you. Or, you know, now that they know that they've been invited, now they're going to start watching you a little bit more closely. They're going to start picking up on exactly what you have to offer. And when you go to invite them again, then they'll be ready. All right, so it's just kind of like shifting your mindset a little bit with this idea that no's are not bad. Turn it around. No's are actually a good thing. If you can think about each no as just taking one step closer to your next yes, it's kind of like you have to sort through all of the no's to get to the next yes. The other thing to think about is that we are not here to help everybody. You know, there are 450,000 plus coaches in the Beachbody Network. So there are so many different types of people that between all of us, we can reach everybody. But you as an individual, you are not going to relate to every different kind of person. And so basically, you know, when you are reaching out to people, especially if they're cold market people and you haven't really gotten to know them yet and you're inviting them, maybe they're not your kind of person. So maybe that's why they say no to you, because they don't kind of mesh with your vibe. They don't like some of your posts. And remember, that's okay. When you post to everyone, you post to no one. But that's a whole nother topic. You know, not everyone's going to say yes to you because they're not your tribe. They're not your kind of person. So you need to sort through all the people that might not be your person to help the other yous of the world. You're searching through all these people. This is our job, to kind of fish through all these people that we have to kind of push to the side in order to find the us's of the world. Like, I'm looking for the other Brooke Reeds of the world. You know, I am looking for the girl who wants to lose a little bit of weight before she gets pregnant. I'm looking for the girl who wants to lose the baby weight after she had her baby. I'm looking for the girl who needs an outlet besides being a stay-at-home mom and needs something more. I'm looking for the girl who wants to desperately stay home with her kids, but has to go to work because she needs to help pay the bills. Like, I'm looking for that particular tribe. I'm looking for those people who fit that particular niche. It doesn't mean that I don't like anybody else. It just means that they're not my tribe. There's probably another Beachbody coach out there that would match their needs, but not those ones specifically, okay? So just try to start wrapping your head around no's are okay, no's are normal, no's just get us one step closer to the next yes. No's just help plant a seed, so those people who might not have otherwise known what we have to offer are going to start looking at us more closely, following us more closely, and might be that much more ready to say yes the next time you post a call to action, the next time you invite them through private message. Okay, does that make sense? So definitely check out the Go for No book, okay? So when you hear objections, there's a couple things I want you to do. It depends on the objection. But when you hear objections, you can combat those rejections with objections, you know? So you can kind of push back on those objections in a number of different ways. When I was first starting as a coach, I was so nervous to hear these objections. And I would just, you know, somebody would say, no, I can't. I'd say, oh, okay, no problem. You know, but don't do that. Leave the doors of communication open. Dig a little bit deeper. You don't want to be too pushy, but you can dig a little bit deeper, because a lot of times people are just going to say no, but they won't tell you why. And if you can find out why, like a little bit more information about why they're saying no, maybe you can, you know, combat that rejection with an objection. So like, for example, if someone just says no, I might say, all right, that's fine, you know, no pressure. Do you mind if I ask why you're not ready? And you know, that's a very polite way to say it. If they really don't want to tell you, they'll just tell you that they don't want to tell you. But 9 times out of 10, people are going to give you a reason. So, and you can combat each of the objections. And the more you do this, the more you live it, like I told you a couple videos ago, the more comfortable you're going to get combating these. So, you know, if somebody says they don't have the money, you know, I talk to a lot of women who are in a single income family and just don't have the money. And there's a couple different things that you can say to that. So if you're strictly staying with the money piece, you know, you can talk to them about, you know, do they get coffee every day? Maybe this can replace, you know, they can save their coffee money every day and save up. I've had women who have asked for this for their birthday, asked for this for Christmas, asked for this for Mother's Day. If they don't have money, sometimes I'll turn that around and talk to them about the business opportunity. You know, like, oh, I don't have the money for it. We're a single income family. I've heard this so much lately. I'll say, okay, well, do you mind if I ask you a question? Do you work? And a lot of times they're no's. I talk to a lot of stay-at-home moms, and I'll say, have you ever considered working from home? You know, no pressure, but this business opportunity has completely changed my life, and I can't help but to share it with others. And they're like, yeah, okay, cool. I'd definitely be open to hearing more about it. And that's when I'd add them to the No Boss Life Coach sneak peek. So there's kind of 2 ways to combat that one. You know, if people say they don't have time, I hear that one. You will hear that one all the time. I'll say, you know, for my stay-at-home moms, like, I don't have time. I'm always with the kids, rush, rush, rush. They'll say, oh, me too. And, you know, you want to use the feel, felt, found. You know, oh, I know how you feel. I felt the exact same way, but what I found was when I get up early in the morning and I work out before my son even wakes up, I bust it out, I get it done, and I don't have to think about it the rest of the day. I can be a hands-on, present mom that I want to be, and I don't have that cloud of when am I gonna work out kind of hanging over my head. They're like, oh shit, like, I've never thought about working out before my son gets up, you know, working out before my child gets up. And then if they say, oh, my kid's up at like 5 a.m., you can always say something like, oh, I've helped other women who are in the same exact boat. They get to their workout done when their child goes to bed at night. Have you ever tried doing that? You know, so really helping them, really working with them to help them figure out a way to make it work. Time and money is usually the one that you'll hear the most. There's one more. the motivation. Like, well, I just don't have the motivation like you do. It's like, I don't really have the motivation, but two things. Number one, the accountability groups like this one that I'm talking to you about has been a game changer. I used to be doing it alone too. I had no motivation, and that's when I just kept quitting, and then I was getting no results, so I was getting frustrated. Until I try, again, that feel, felt, found. I feel the same way because I know how you feel. I felt the same way, but what I found was when I started being a part of these online virtual boot camps, it was a game changer for me. Having the support of these women in these groups helped me keep coming back day in and day out. And then the other thing I say to them is, it kind of sucks at the beginning. Yeah, it's, I didn't have the motivation at the beginning, but now I've kind of worked through that, and now it's become a habit. I actually feel weird when I don't work out. And the same thing can happen for you too. I can help you. So there's an objection for everything. The more you combat them, the stronger you're going to feel, the more confident you're going to feel in combating them. Until you're feeling confident, reach out to me. If you get an objection, reach out to me, reach out to the Team Liberate coach thread, and we will help you. Like we are more than happy to help walk you through some different ones until you get a feel for it. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to hear some no's. You just are. So you're going to get practice right out the bat of combating these objections. The worst thing you can do though is say like no. Like if they say no, say, oh, okay, that's fine. The other thing you can do, especially if it's a money thing, you can talk to them about how they can save money and that sort of thing. But then you can also say like, okay, no problem. Is there anything I can do in the meantime to support you until you are ready, financially ready, until you are ready to join me? 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be like, no, just keep doing what you're doing, keep posting. I look for your posts every day. It's really inspirational. It really helps me. So then at least that way you've kept the doors of communication open. And when they are ready, they're gonna come back to you because you don't want to have this salty response if somebody says no, because then they're not gonna come back to you. But if you leave the doors of communication open and say, hey, do you mind if we keep in touch? Do you mind if I reach back out in a couple months? They're gonna say, yeah, of course. And then when they are ready, they're gonna come back to you instead of, some random girl, some random other person on their social media, their neighbor, You want them to know that no matter what, you are here to help them and support them, and you will be here and you will be able to help them when they are ready. Okay? The other thing you can do is when you're hearing lots of objections, you can throw those into your posts. So what I should do this more often, but at least I try like once or twice a week to do a post that combats an objection. So like if you're hearing the time thing a lot, you should post about it. Don't call people out, don't use any names, but just say, I got up this morning and I got my workout in, and I was thinking about how when my son was, a newborn, I was trying to work out during his nap and it just never got done. I'm so glad I switched to, I'm so glad I've learned to become a morning workout person because it feels so good to have it done first thing in the morning and not have to worry about it throughout the day. Because those people who you're having conversations with, they're gonna watch your posts more closely, and then they're gonna see your posts about the objection that they gave you, and they're gonna be like, oh crap, she's right. She knows what she's talking about. I really think she can help me. All right? So, and then if they ignore you altogether, it's fine. It's totally fine. That's gonna happen too. You're gonna see the little circle next to your message, and which means they've read it and they're still not gonna answer you, and it's okay. It doesn't mean they hate you. It doesn't mean they're making fun of you. Half the time it means they probably read your message at a red light and forgot to respond. That's why follow-ups are so important. But if they ignore you altogether, just think of it as another seed that's been planted, okay? But you just have to keep that vision strong, the vision we talked about, that top, whatever's at the top of your escalator, keep that in the forefront of your brain, because that's what's gonna help you to keep showing up and to keep fighting through these objections. Because I'll be honest, we go through waves, and there's definitely times that you're gonna hear a lot of no's, but you have to keep that goal in the forefront of your brain, because you know that there are other yous out in the world that need your help, and you don't care what it takes. You don't care how many no's it's gonna take to get to that next person, okay? For all you know, you could give up and that very next person would have been your next life changed. How much would that suck? Don't do that. Keep showing up. People need to watch you for a while, especially those cold market people. They need to learn that you know what you're doing, that you're here for the long haul, you're the real deal, and that they can truly trust that you would have their best interest at heart. Okay? So I think that's all I have for you. Thanks for listening to my rejection spiel. Let us know if you have any questions, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for our last new coach training video. All right, bye guys.